This is another round 2 game in GPG. Looks like we've come in on turn 2, and Pipsqueak is on. Wow, they're both Fireweaver decks, but Pipsqueak is on a Teamer Fireweaver deck that also has a Wizard package, I believe. Yep. And Truk is on colorless, or I guess mono red, but the only red cards are Fireweaver and the Cyborg cards, I believe. But it's colorless Fireweaver that's also trying to get Dimensional Reshaper, which is, yep. Pipsqueak uses a Metal Munch to kill tools, which is a tutor, unrivaled Fireweaver. Here you can read it. They played a Monument of Queen. Sorry for being a bit late on turn. I was on turn 2. Looks like Pipsqueak got 2 fetches. Yep, Metal Munch getting played, or I guess not being played, just exiled off Fireweaver. We'll see if Pipsqueak wants to block here. In Truk's hand, we have Mysterious Coffer, Gilded Spyglass, which is a very potent card advantage engine, Velid, which was just played, an Artifact Land with Archive, and that hits Masterwork Archivist, another Masterwork Archivist, which is a 4-mana tutor that gets you a legendary card, and Blackwall's Edge, which is an enchantment land, and Hold Steady Engine, which is a hate piece, Shining Crusader, which is really nice because it, well, until this, with this Fireweaver maybe going eventually, this will have protection from pretty much everything. Okay, Gilded Spyglass, and Metal Munch was played, healing the mana aesthetic, dealing 1 damage to Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak untaps, draws Valeri. In their hand, there's Ominous Discovery, which is okay, I guess. I haven't ever seen this card before, but it looks pretty good for card advantage. Mirrorgate probably names Monument. Maybe something else. Let me check the lists. Okay, yep, names Monument of Queen, so this will just become a blue-red land. Though I think Truk maybe should have named blue a second time so that Pipsqueak got less fixing. Because they already have their red source, they don't really need more. There's Kelly Thrust's Workshop, which is a light Mishra's Workshop, only taps for 2 and you need Metalcraft. That's still a very good card in Artifact decks. Mirror Soul Mage is kind of like a Monastery Mentor, but it only triggers once each turn. Valeric your pack. Whenever you cast a spell that targets, you put a loyalty counter on it, create a 1/1, and you can add red for a spell that targets, and you can, I guess, flashback something, but you can also play until the end of your next turn. And then Over the Moon is removal, and then spells that are mana value 4 or greater cost 1 less to cast and can't be countered. Shining Crusader here, this effectively has protection from everything because all of the Pipsqueak's removal is colored. And Kelly Thrust is, this is a enchantment land, so there's only 2 artifacts on Drake's board right now. So they don't have Metalcraft for Kelly Thrust's Workshop. Pipsqueak draws a land. Let's see what they play. I'm honestly not sure what they play here. It's just a weird situation. They can play Valeri, but they can plus it. I'm not sure what that does. It just goes down to 1 loyalty. They shock in the Magmatic Torrent. Maybe they just go Mirror Soul Mage, Ominous Discovery. I think that's the best play here. Rerun. Whenever a creature you control dies. Okay. Island, yep, Mirror Soul Mage, and then Ominous Discoveries, so they'll get to make a 1/1, and then Sleight of Hand. Well, 1 goes to the graveyard, so not exactly Sleight of Hand, but close to it. Puts Cosmic Sinkhole into their hand and mills a third Valeri. So Cosmic Sinkhole can be a 4 spike, a 3-mana mana leak, or 5 mana. I guess that won't ever happen because Pipsqueak's only 3 colors, but... So either Cosmic Sinkhole or a 3-mana mana leak. Here, Truke uses Jade Temple, which is a soul land. Taps to add colorless or 2 for activated abilities, though not lands. They're going to use Gilded Spyglass to look at the top 5 and reveal a colorless card, which is pretty much Truke's whole deck. So this is a very powerful card in these kinds of more grindy artifact decks. Gets another Gilded Spyglass that's going to put in some work, especially with Pipsqueak also being on a control deck, though I guess it could also be considered a tempo deck. Mirror Soul Mage is going to help Pipsqueak push some damage through to Truke, but I think Truke can just sit back, keep using these Gilded Spyglasses, and eventually get their Reshaper combo, which, if you don't know, is Dimensional Reshaper can swap basically the text boxes of 2 permanents, and Dead Man's Hand has an ability that sacks 2 permanents with mana value 1 and 2 with mana value 8. Or maybe, is it just 1 or 2? I don't remember, but the cost doesn't matter because what you do is you play a Spirited card, which lets you activate an ability of the permanent without paying any cost, not just mana cost. And what you do is, with the Spirited ability on the stack, use Reshaper to swap the Spirited permanent's text with Dead Man's Hand so that you can activate Dead Man's Hand ability to kill the opponent. But Pipsqueak is just at 8 too. So the Shining Crusader is going to keep getting in damage. They're dead in 3 turns. I'm not sure what Pipsqueak can do. Plays Valeri. Is there anything useful in the graveyard? Not really. Shining Crusader has protection from all colors. Yep. Pipsqueak attacks in for 4. Truke's down to 16. Valeri flashes back. Metal Munch. So they can play this on their next turn. I guess probably just blowing up a Gilded Spyglass because they can't hit Shining Crusader. They can also block to get back their Ominous Discovery. Wait, they can't block. This has protection. Yeah. Oh, Observer of Aeons. This card got nerfed. It used to be 8 mana, but the ability didn't give a counter just only until end of turn, but there was no mana cost, which made it able to OTK easily, and that's what got nerfed. But now it's still a good card. It's still a strictly better Mirror Enforcer. They play Center of Culture, which is another soul land. This time you need Civilized, which means you have an artifact, creature, and enchantment. Truke's deck does run soul lands. That's kind of the whole thing with the deck. And also, obviously, Fireweaver, because it's a 100-card deck. Mysterious Coffer will be able to bounce all of this stuff. Civilized is turned on, but you could have guessed that already. Based on that, it tapped for 2 mana. Activates Gilded Spyglass. I think you're really seeing what these Gilded Spyglasses put in some work here because they just draw 2 cards a turn, and they also give you so much selection. Okay, gets Hidden Garden Entrance. This is another kind of, if you get the mana, you can combo with this card by casting it for its monument cost. And you just do a bunch of stuff. That's, speaking of comboing with Hidden Garden Entrance, there's another combo in Truke's deck, and that's if you have another card named Nexus Possibilities. It's 1 mana, it lets you choose additional modes on modal cards, but I don't believe there's any modal cards in Truke's deck. But what you can do is it has a fixing ability, 1 tap, add 1 mana of any color, but its last ability is 6 tap, add a double bird. So what you can do is you can hidden guard an entrance, fetch Queen of Aeons, which lets you take an extra turn, and then on that extra turn, you can blink hidden guard an entrance again. There's this big line, but you win the game if you get Nexus and hidden guard an entrance on board. So they're probably looking for Nexus with these, so they can just win. Also, Shining Crusader is lethal in 2 turns. I'm not sure what Over the Moon is going to do. It can't hit Crusader, but I don't believe they hit their own creature. It is up to 1. I guess they do want to get the Ominous Discoveries. Okay. Duke responds. Exiles the Mysterious Coffer and bounces all of Pipsqueak's permanents. Or, not all of them, just the tokens. Pipsqueak casts Metal Munch, just dealing 1 damage to Truk, I guess. It does create 1/1 soldier because of Valeri. Ominous Discoveries doesn't proc because they were returned to hand. Yep. This game isn't looking very good for Pipsqueak here. She's only at 5, and that Truk only needs to hit in with Crusader 2 times, as I keep saying. Or there's Dead Man's Hand, which means if they find Reshaper and a Spirited card, or just Nexus, they... Actually, I don't believe they have the mana for Nexus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Light Blessed Claymore, that is lethal if it gets attached. And I don't believe Pipsqueak... Yeah, Pipsqueak doesn't have a way to get out of this, so that should be... Yep, that's GG's. We're going to game 2. So, I'm going to look at their deck lists now, since I didn't get the chance to. So, Truk is playing a deck called Garden-tron, which is, as I said, you have the Dead Man's Hand, but also Dimensional Reshaper. But it looks like the main combo is Nexus and Hidden Garden Entrance, as Hidden Garden Entrance is in the name. And there's only actually 1 copy of Dead Man's Hand, 2 copies of Spirited cards, actually, and 1 copy of Reshaper. So it looks like those are just tutor targets for cards like Harvest Reaper. Wow, this is going to be a lot of editing because I have to put all these on screen. In their sideboard, they have Queen of Aeons, like I mentioned, and then a bunch of other wishboard targets for both Fireweaver and Hidden Garden Entrance. Let's see if the game has started again. Yep, it has. Can't go over Pipsqueak's deck, but turn 1, Pipsqueak plays blue-green Chalk Fetch tapped. Truk plays Transplanted Citadel, which will eventually be probably free or very cheap to turn on. So Pipsqueak has Cosmic Sinkhole, like I mentioned, either 4 Spike or 3 mana leak. They actually brought in their Adam, so Adam is on Wizards here. Last Request will let them usually draw 3 or 4 cards. Mechanimind Researcher, so this will grow very easily. Yep. Pipsqueak's going to Cosmic Sinkhole. And let's go over what's in Truk's hands. So there's Nexus. If they draw Hidden Garden Entrance and get to the right amount of mana, they win. Another Mechanimind Researcher. Bastion, which is a nice fixing land, but Truk isn't really running many enchantments, so it's just an enchantment land for affinity count. Imperial Silks. This is the Spirited card I mentioned. It's card advantage, also life gain against aggro, and Volatile Stonework can function as removal. Okay. Pipsqueak plays Nebula Event, 50 gold. Oh wow, my commentary is not very good. My voice is not having a good time right now. Probably plays Adam here. Maybe Mirror Mage hoping to draw land and play Last Request, but I'd probably play Adam here. Yep. playing Adam. Adam will be on Wizard. It's Truke's turn. They draw Healing Center, which is Radiant Fountain and Cannon Magic. Mechanimind Researcher sees Masterwork Archivist, it stays on top, gets a counter. Masterwork Archivist will let them search up Reshaper, which means only Dead Man's Hand is left. Is Dead Man's Hand legendary? Let me look. Dead Man's Hand is not legendary. Reshaper is, along with Nexus is also legendary. So that is a very useful card in this deck. Though Harvest Reaper and Tinker's Tools are a lot more useful because they can get you more of the combo pieces. Hidden Garden Entrance is the big one because you'll mainly need to draw that. I guess you could also Harvest Reaper. Yeah, Harvest Reaper is a very good card in this deck and many other decks. Just letting you tutor a land or any artifact, especially in this 100-card deck, is extremely useful. And that also means Egg of Avarice, which lets you tutor up and sacrifice the Harvest Reapers, is also very useful in this deck. Wow, this is going to be a lot of editing. Just drew you Offering Pool. Lets them dig for non-creatures and then start growing their board with non-creatures. Maybe eventually they'll reach the last one. But if you do, the game should be over by then, with Truke being on a combo deck. I guess maybe Pipsqueak can interrupt their combo multiple times. I'm not sure. That's a very good strategy. Yep, plays Rare Soul Mage, does get +1/+1, and also does create wizards. So all of these are getting +1/+1 off of Adam. Oh, Adam gets +1/+1 off them. I thought it was Lord. Oops. Yeah, Adam gets trades with the Mechanimind Researcher. Last Request is something Pipsqueak can do next turn. Bastion, and probably into Masterwork Archivist here. Yep. Masterwork Archivist, wonder what it gets. Probably Reshaper. That way you only need one more tutor and to get Dead Man's Hand. Oh, gets Intrepid. Yeah, that does search for Hidden Garden Entrance. I didn't think about that. So then they can get Hidden Garden Entrance, and if they get the lands, which Hidden Garden Entrance is 1 land, but they do need 6 lands at a minimum to combo off. Well, 6 mana, because Nexus's activation costs 6. This will get the 5th, and if they want to do it all in 1 turn, they need 7 mana. So, we'll see. Pipsqueak draws Unrivaled Fireweaver. I cannot say card names today. Plays Last Request, which will field their top 7. So that's a lot of lands, and there's also 2 duplicate Solar Flares. This isn't a very... Yeah, they got unlucky in their hits here. So they're probably taking Nebula, Solar Flare, Discovery. Okay, takes Magmatic Torrent instead. I like these basic arts, they're nice. Truke draws. Well, it doesn't draw yet. It draws Mechanimind Researcher. I'm not sure what they do. Probably just Intrepid. And they have Wanderlust already, so that's just a nice blocker or threat if you need it to be. You have gets Hidden Garden Entrance, probably plays that, searches for Mountain. Yeah, mountain. We'll enter tap. Wait, does that go? Okay, yeah, enters tap. And they only have 3 artifacts for transplanted, so Citadel. I cannot pronounce cards. Plays Nexus, so next turn, if they draw land, they can combo. Attacks with Masterwork, Archivist, and Volatile Stonework. Volatile Stonework doesn't matter anymore. Adam's dead. Masterwork, Archivist. I'd probably block, but I guess your life total is high and you're more afraid of being comboed and you want the aggro to hopefully kill them before they draw their next land. Yeah, that's probably the right play. Solar Flare. Fireweaver can find Metal Munch to kill the Nexus, which will definitely help Pipsqueak. Is there another card in Pipsqueak's sideboard that they can get? Maybe. They can get... Yeah, looks like just Metal Munch is the best one. Calamitous Crash also might be good. You draw Kunal, which... Okay, yep. This game's okay. I haven't ever seen it before. Plays Magmatic Torrent. Probably, yeah, just Fireweavering for Calamitous Crash, maybe. So they get rid of both the Stonework and the Nexus. Maybe just Metal Munch, so they also can leave Solar Flare up. But definitely playing Fireweaver. Let's see what she gets. Yep, gets Calamitous Crash. Which also will kill the Masterwork Archivist, since 2 artifacts die. So that is 3 for 1. That is really good for Pipsqueak. And also buffs up their team with prowess, makes another token. Intrepid will fire up to block the Mirasol Mage. I think that was a misplay. But they still have Solar Flare up if they ever need to kill the Intrepid once it becomes a creature. Last Request is still a pretty powerful draw option. True plays Mechanimind Researcher, which should help them dig for another Nexus. Unmarked Vials. I don't know if you keep that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It is draw. I'd probably play, yeah, you play second Researcher, or I guess Imperial 6 also works, and then play Unmarked Vials. And then play Unmarked Vials. Hold Steady Engine off the top, which I don't think you keep. Fireweaver already happened, so there's not much point in naming that.